Welcome to the Own Your Family, where real stories and proven formulas are shared about leaving the rat race so you can achieve freedom and spend more quality time with your family. Get ready, mompreneurs and dadpreneurs, to get inspired by earning from home, living healthy, and aspiring for more in life with your hosts, Renat and Katrina.
I'm Katrina Sevilla, and today's episode is dedicated to all our hardworking Filipino immigrants around the world. Today's special interview session is brought to you by Django.ct. Django.ct is a SaaS company. Django.ct delivers software as a service to entrepreneurs, freelancers, and hobbyists. Go ahead and be a Django.ct member and get your website for free. Okay. All right. So now let me go and introduce our special guest in this episode. Our beloved guest is born and raised in the Philippines. She spent 22 years working for the U.S. government in different capacities. In July 2012, she came to New York as an immigrant. And just 1 year later, she continued to strive for success in her professional life as she achieved her goal of becoming a flight attendant. She's now an author of 2 successful books, a mentor and resource speaker for immigrants. She splits her time between Florida and New York, where she remains dedicated to her writing, love of travel, and passion for helping people. Please welcome Lia Ocampo. It's an honor to have you on Pinoy Real, Lia.
Well, thank you so much. First of all, Katrina, I really want to thank you for this opportunity to be on your guests. How do you say it? Pinoy Real. I'm trying to practice it. Pinoy Real, right?
Exactly, Lia. It's Pinoy Real. Yes, thank you so much for putting your time in this interview session. And I know how busy you are, not just as a flight attendant, but also you're a mentor and you are inspiring so many people around the world, especially our kababayans. You have a wonderful story to share with our kababayans. So I'm super excited to hear that story.
Thank you. It is my honor to be on your show, and it is also my I would love to be on your show because I want to share my story and so other people can learn.
Oh yeah, exactly. So it's really great to have you here. I know that Lia and I have been communicating online for a little while now, just to block this interview, and finally we did it. So thank you so much for that, for making your time free. You know what, Lia, your achievements and as is a proof to all Filipino immigrants. It's a living proof, actually, that American dreams still do exist. So can you share with us your story in a nutshell?
Okay, I'm ready for that. I grew up in a humble beginning, like you and like I guess some of us on your show. I read it and I viewed that. So I grew up in Batangas and Batangas City. I am the youngest and I have a sister and a brother. My mom was the breadwinner in the family. She valued education a lot, so she sent us to a private Catholic elementary in high school and elementary. I graduated from the University of Batangas, where my mom taught in college. Our college education was free because she was an employee of the university. The free college education was a great privilege that I am grateful for. I grew up very independent with a hardworking mom. Besides teaching and working at the school registrar's office, she had thesis writing and typing jobs. So I learned typing skills in high school. She would ask me to help her proofread. I was reading it aloud while she was proofreading. I believe that was when I began my passion for reading. After high school graduation, I took college subjects right away. I attended all summer classes and took no vacation break. I know it was my choice, and I ended up finishing college in just 3 years. After graduation, of course, full of dreams and aspirations, I left Batangas City to go to Manila with my best friend to seek more and better opportunities in Manila. I was hired by an agency and they sent me to work for the U.S. refugee program, which lasted for 4 years. My job at the U.S. refugee gave me access inside the U.S. Embassy. I applied for a position in human resources and was fortunately hired. I moved from one organization to another, from human resources to U.S. Trade and Development Agency to public affairs, then finally to U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, which was my last department. In my 18th year at the embassy, I applied for the Special Immigrant Program. This program is a privilege. Is a privilege for the U.S. government employees. After providing a valuable service of 20 years, they can immigrate to the U.S. with the category of special immigrant. So I moved to New York in 2012. Had a couple of temporary jobs. I was a recruiter at a nonprofit organization. I was a personal shopper with Macy's and a customer service representative with the New York Department of Consumer Affairs. Then in 2014, I became a flight attendant. I love my job and I am thankful for the privilege of traveling the world.
All right. So, yes, Leah, that was such an inspiring story indeed. Starting from the bottom, really from humble beginnings, make you a better person and really equipped in what you're doing now. So, when you first came into the United States, what were the biggest challenges that you have to overcome, especially in terms of work ethics?
Yeah, it is the job search. It is not. It was not easy for me, even though I had a substantial amount of experience with the U.S. government. It was not still easy for me to look my first job. It is always the putting your foot on the door, and once you've done that, the next steps or the next job would be easier, and it gets easier and easier as you go along.
So yeah, the first part really as an immigrant is like looking for your first job, and that's the most challenging. But once you get that first one, it's kind of easier to find the next one. So yeah, that's truly a nice story that will definitely inspire a lot of Filipinos. So yeah, my next question was very interesting. Like, why did you switch your career from the US government to flight attendant?
Honestly, Katrina, when I moved to the US, it was not my plan to transition from the US government to flight attendant. My initial plan was to work for the United Nations with the headquarters in New York, because I thought that that was the best place to continue working for a diplomatic organization. However, that did not happen. I knew I did my best because I almost got the job. I swear, of course, I thought I would get the job, but I did not take that experience as a failure, but an opportunity. It paved my way to chase another dream job of becoming a flight attendant. Eventually, it was a blessing for me. If I was hired at United Nations, I would not be traveling the world. Yeah.
All right, so it's pretty connected to traveling at the same time. Yeah, being able to work for UN definitely will allow you to travel also to different places, right?
Yeah, I think, yeah, of course. But it depends on your position, of course, in the United Nations, and not everybody, I think, would travel that. It depends on if you're a local or if you're a diplomat or something. So, but it was, I did not regret, and I really chased. I really worked hard. I had my, the system or the profile in the United Nations. I was taking all the positions that I was applying to, writing it down, so I don't miss that. But I know I worked hard. I was so happy that I was selected for an interview for a position in a women organization or something. I'm sorry, I forgot. But yeah, I studied for a week for the interview, and I was so confident. I thought that I would get it, and I actually was on the last part or last stage of the process. But I did not get it. But it turned out it was a blessing for me. Yeah,
It turned out to be a blessing because
yeah,
that paved the way for you to become a flight attendant.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That's truly a nice story. Yeah. That sometimes we have something planned already for our lives, but then God puts us to a better path, another way that leads us to a better place.
Yeah, correct, correct. I really wanted to, that's the reason why I went to New York is actually one of the reasons why I went to New York is because of the United Nations. And I thought, that is, a great organization. I have the experience with the U.S. Embassy. So I know I could do it. And, I thought I did or I would, but that is not the best place for me, apparently. But I was glad for the experience of the interview process. It was tough, but I had the experience, and that's one good thing that I learned from it.
Wow. All right. So now let's go back to you being a flight attendant. So what's your favorite part of your job as a flight attendant?
Interacting with passengers is my favorite part of the job or my job. It is what I am good at doing. I believe in interacting is a way of giving the passengers the best flying experiences. I encounter people from all walks of life. Sometimes it amazes me that there are passengers who look simple and down to earth, yet they are extraordinary people. Having a quick conversation is sometimes a way for them to open up. When a passenger boards the plane, I have no idea what the person is up to or his or her condition. But when I talk to them, they begin sharing their fear of flying. So I help them feel comfortable and give them tips on reducing their fear. They would tell me they were sad because a family member is sick or just passed away. So I console them. And some passengers would share that they're happy and look forward to their trip to celebrate their birthday or anniversary. Of course, not everyone would react or respond the same way. Interacting with passengers inspire me, and I learn from them. It is an opportunity to help a person in my own way and with my role as a flight attendant.
Wow. That's such a nice explanation of your favorite thing to do as a flight attendant, because you're really changing their lives as well. You're part of them, not just physically, but yeah, also emotionally. You can really comfort them, whatever their situation may be at. And I think that's such a there's just some sense of purpose in what you're doing, because you are really interacting with with your clients, or I don't know how you call that, passengers.
We call them actually customers. Yeah,
Yes.
in the common term, it is passengers, but we were told to call them customers.
Yes,
Yeah,
they are
it's an official way and more a professional way of saying, saying
yes, customers, clients. Wow. So you're like treating them as like a family, not just, passenger.
it. Yeah.
Right. Mhm. Nice. Wow. So also, Leah, I have seen, on your social media, you do a lot of travels with your family. I see your vlogs on YouTube, your Facebook page. Tell us your favorite places to visit.
I have a lot. I love traveling and seeing wonders of the world. I love seeing heritage sites, national parks, and lounging on beaches. I love visiting new places to continue learning, discovering, and experiencing new adventures. Traveling for me does not always mean going to beautiful places. I have traveled to places alone. That maybe some of you don't want to visit. But for me, The experience of a new culture and meeting people from different countries are most important. I learn from those experiences and I bring them along with me. Well, I would name some of my favorite places. I guess it depends on the categories. Some of them, to name a few: Santorini in Greece, Victoria Falls in Africa, Rio in Brazil, Batanes, of course, in the Philippines, Croatia, Italy, Spain are also a few of my favorite countries. Cuba, St. Martin, Alaska, Hawaii, New York in the US, just to name a few. But anywhere there is a lighthouse and a turquoise beach can be my favorite place.
Wow. Wow. I can just imagine those are all beautiful places to visit. Like it's like almost my dream places to visit as well. So yes, hopefully one day I can have those experiences as well. But Leah, I just wanted to know, how long have you been doing as the flight attendant yes career that you have now?
It's more than 7.5 years, so I'm counting it to almost 8 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not too long, but to some it is long. But trust me, there's those who have been a flight attendant for 25 years to 30 years, and when I meet them, I always say, I salute you.
Indeed. Yes. So Leah, do you also have to learn different languages, as we know, flight attendants, in the Philippines, I heard, oh, you have to learn different languages as well in order for you to become a flight attendant. Is that true?
No, no, no. Not for my company. I there for the because I work for the original airline and really do not require a specific language or additional language. Well, it is a plus, of course, if you habla español, right? And I have a little habla español. Of course, I learned that in college, but it's not really required in my company. To bigger airlines, yes, and if they travel a lot of international places, yes, they do require that. Not really require. You can apply for a position that is if you have a additional language, but I think it's not required qualifications for you to be a flight attendant.
Okay, great. So that's a good tip for our viewers or listeners who are maybe watching right now. They can, consider learning other languages. That's a plus point, but it's really not required.
Yeah.
All right. So Leah, let's go to your two books. I know that you have successfully published your two books. Could you tell us more about them?
Yeah, I wanted to tell you because you asked me earlier if I can share my second book. I hope you don't mind. I also want to mention my first book, What We Know for Sure. Here it is. It's inspirational stories of special immigrants in America. It is a compilation of 26 stories of former employees of the U.S. Embassy who immigrated to the U.S. through the special immigrant program. We share the process of coming to the U.S. and the truth behind the hard work and sacrifices in this book. Our stories would guide and inspire any immigrant on their journey to the U.S. Yeah, so that's my first book.
All right. Yeah, that's what we know for sure, which was published around which year, Leah?
I published it early last year, like March or April of last year. As soon as I finished it, I published it. Yeah, and I had a plan to go to the Philippines to promote that, but unfortunately, it didn't happen because of COVID. So it was published last year.
Okay, very good. And the second one, yes, definitely share us about it.
The latest one is I Love Flying. an inspirational journal for your flying and travel adventures. I created this journal last year when I stayed home while on voluntary leave. When the pandemic happened, I felt a strong desire to create something positive out of adversity. You know, the emotional impact of the COVID-19 became my driving force, and my love of flying inspired me. Through this journal, I wanted to honor those who have lost their lives to COVID 19, and I wanted to express my admiration to the frontline workers in the aviation industry. For this reason, I dedicated it to them. I used my own flying photos to share a different perspective of the world through flying. And I included my favorite travel and flying quotations to allow you to reflect on those inspiring words while you are writing in your journal.
Wow, I should definitely get a copy of that one.
Yeah,
Yes.
I'll send you one.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much. But you know what, Aaliyah? Your story, as I said earlier, is an inspiration to many Filipino immigrants, especially to those who just started out. And I know this episode is going to really touch a lot of Filipinos' lives. So, what advice can you give for those who are just starting out, especially those who just moved into another country, learning new culture and environment?
Be patient, okay? We Filipinos are resilient, okay? And it's the fact, transitioning from the U.S. From the Philippines to the U.S. is not easy. So it's your attitude that will bring you a success. So it's not just the value of of being successful, but it's also the value of being grateful. Okay, so and I always say this, and I always preach this, that whenever you are grateful to your life and to your blessings, you do not have this yet, but you will have it eventually. You will have it soon. So it's the patience, and it is the I guess it is the attitude. It is the right attitude that will bring you to success. It is a cup. It's not a cup of tea. To that. The process and the progress of your transition. But being patient, and it's also the hope, and you work hard, and you have the different values that you have from the Philippines will take you to where you want to be. Okay, to help you succeed in life and in transitioning from the Philippines to the US as an immigrant, here are some tips that I can share with you. Celebrate your big and small accomplishments. It is a way to enjoy life and achieve more goals. If one plan does not work out, try to explore other options. Be prepared and confident. That's how to ace a job interview. Be resourceful and build contacts. Acquiring new training or education will upgrade your qualifications. It will help you relaunch your previous career or start a new career. In my case, I studied a new course. Well, I upgraded my qualification and I took the human resources generalist course. It's a short course, but it did help me. Don't hesitate to ask for help. Be humble and thankful. Opportunities are around you. Be patient and have faith. Find a job where you have growth and happiness. That is very important. Never give up on dreams, and don't be afraid to try. Find your passion. That is very important. Don't let failure intimidate you. Learn from it. Find your inspiration or create your own. Motivation creates accomplishments. Know your mission. And when you find your mission, grow with it. Always look for an opportunity to do good deeds. That's very important. It creates blessings. Create your vision board to achieve your goals. Learn the power of writing your goals. And I'm doing that. It works. Trust me. Remember those people who helped you along the way, especially those with you through tough times. When you help someone succeed, you will become successful. It doesn't matter if the journey is short or long. What matters is the process of learning and sharing your wisdom with others. You and me are doing that. Gratefulness is the key to more blessings and happiness. Be thankful and share your blessings. That's my 15 commandments.
Wow. Thank you, Leah. I like it when you said about when you help people, that's when you become successful.
That's true. Yeah.
Yes. So helping really more people as possible, and success is just going to follow you.
Yeah. That's very true. It's a fact and it's tested. It is very
Yes.
true.
There you go, Lia Ocampo. So that's three things. I just want to repeat that to all our viewers and listeners. Be patient, number one. Second, having the right attitude. And third, be grateful. Thank you so much, Leah. You know what? The being patient, thank you for reminding us, because um, we Filipinos, we tend to be we wanted to, be successful overnight. We have the tendency. So, yes, when you are in a new environment, it can really take time. It can be like you may have a very slow progression, but it's going to be it's going to turn out okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's I think it's also your plan. You should have goals and you should work on your goals as well.
That's
Yeah, it's
right.
not just this is your plan, but you're not working on your goal and your plan. So it's a combination of of plan and work hard and visualizing and the vision and the belief that you're gonna succeed.
Thank you. So we needed to match our actions to our goals.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, great. So you know what, Leah? None of our guests leave Pinoy Real without sharing their favorite inspirational book. So what is your favorite inspirational book, Leah? Tell us more about it.
My favorite inspirational book is this one. My favorite inspirational book is the Ogmandino's University of Success. Ogmandino was one of the greatest self-help authors during his time. It was the first inspirational book I have read when I was young, and I have read it many times. I cannot remember how many times. The book was a gift from the author himself, and my mom scribbled on the first page of the book that it's a gift from the author, from Augustino, and she received it in 1983. I consider the book precious to me, and I still have it up to this day. I underlined my favorite words, sentences, and even paragraphs.
Wow.
Paragraphs when I initially read it. The book contains a complete course on how to succeed with 10 semesters, 50 lessons by 50 world renowned experts. And those lessons will advance you into the world of exceptional achievement. I'm proud to say that book is one of my inspirations for my book. I graduated from this book, University of Success, maybe not with flying colors because I am not perfect, but I graduated and learned a lot of wisdom. And I took that wisdom with me from that humble beginning in the Batangas City, Philippines, to all the places I have been and where I am now.
Wow, that's awesome. Leah, could you once more show the front cover of the book on the camera just to show it to all our viewers?
Here I go. How do we do this?
Okay. Yes, you got the right place. It's
Yeah.
called the name of the or the title is
It is Augmandina's University of Success.
There you go. Ogmandino's
Yeah.
University of Success. There. Thank you so much. So yes, folks, before we end, if you are looking for an online community to grow your skills and personal life, Pinoy Wheel has an exclusive Facebook group for both aspiring and accomplished entrepreneurs to gather, connect, and collaborate. Join the group and get featured as a high achiever entrepreneur hero. All right. So, Leah, would you mind sharing with us your website? How can we, get in touch with you? Let's say we have questions about, yeah, traveling and, becoming a flight attendant, for example. Tell our viewers know about it.
Well, you can check my website. It's authorlia.com. Almost everything is in there with my two books and all the short stories or the synopsis of my first book, the stories of the storytellers of the first book. It's in there as well, and I have the social media. I have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I also have the YouTube where I put all my travel adventures now, so you can take a look and be inspired for your next travel. And I also have Pinterest. Everything is on my website, and you can check it out.
Thank you so much, Leah. So that's authorleah.com. But no
Yes.
worries, guys. I will be putting a link in our blog that's coming out in a few days. So go and check that out. All right. Thank you so much to our guest, Lia Ocampo, for sharing her successful and inspiring story on Pinoy Wheel. So I'm truly honored to have you in this episode, Lia. I wish you and your family a super blessed Christmas and a prosperous new year.
Thank you again, Katrina. So it is my honor, and it's a blessing to be on your show. And I also admire you for doing what you do. You inspire us as well. That's one thing for sure.
You're always welcome.
Thanks for listening. Join our online family by signing up for your free account at www.ownyourfamily.com and begin your journey to freedom. Want to get there faster? Book a strategy call with us at ownyourfamily.com/book a call. As always, be sure to leave a rating and subscribe to our podcast and channel so you never miss a future episode.